living every day in your head for free. You can tap away, but I will not hear you scream. You can break your keys, spread your toxicity, your world outside reality. In your room, a little hideaway, but you let it through, enough to go insane. Living in the dark hasn't treated you well. You're building your own prison cell. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Did I brush you off? Is it your lack of friends? We never met, even if you pretend. Am I in your debt? I don't know you nothing. Don't say something you'll regret. Hey, wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Hate, rage, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it on me. Wait, don't waste it on me. Spite, life's telling you, don't waste it. I'm telling you, don't waste it. Life's telling you, don't waste it on me.
Welcome to the Throttle Up Racing Network. Tonight, round one of 2 rounds in a row at Indianapolis. This week will be on the road course. Next week will be our Indy 500. This week, right now, Sean Garrett out on the track. Currently second quickest on the board. There's Dalton Fredericks. A brand new race car, red wheels, looks good. That 00, fifth quick on the board. Austin Albritton, 7th quick in the number 2, a newcomer here to the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series. We're getting ready to go to qualifying, of course. You see that number 57, Scott Ramler, top of the board once again. Of course, the question is, you know, last week would have had 4 in a row, but had a penalty late that cost him big time. James Fox, 9th quick. And as we head into qualifying, one of the fan favorites, Curtis Klinger, out there, 10th quickest right now in the 52. Now we're going to head down to qualifying. Zeros on the board here in practice. Who's going to be the first one to roll out? It may be Scott Ramler. Fifteen-minute qualifying session here at the Indy Road Course. Takes a couple minutes to get back around to that start-finish line. Joe Hutchings out on the track as well. He's looped it around down in turn 2. There's our track map. Justin Delano out on the track, as well as Dalton Fredericks out there in that 00. Glenn Lawson in the 69. And James Fox out there as well. Now there goes Scott Ramler across the line. He'll be the first one to start his first lap here. Second one across the line looks like the 51. Sorry, the 31. And he does loop it. Dalton Fredericks now will come around. He's already started his timed lap, as well as the 58 of James Fox and the 38 of Justin Delano. Now 57 back down to the front stretch. We've got the speeds down in the bottom right-hand corner. 1:13.68 for Scott Ramler. Watch this 00 come around. These cars go so fast around these road courses, slinging in and out of turns. Dalton Fredericks second now on the board with a 1:14.04. James Fox third quick. 69 crosses the line, fourth fastest. Dalton Fredericks third quick, and he's just going to pull over. Scott Ramler will be the next one to cross the line, but Curtis Klinger will be the next one to make his first lap time, and he's a little through the grass there, so this one may not count for him. But Scott Rambler slightly slower on his second lap. And it doesn't look like that lap counted for Curtis Klinger as he got off into the grass. Oh, and he loops it around down into turn one. Curtis Klinger going to have to get it turned back around. He may choose to go back to the pits, and he does. Delano right now second quick. That lap of 1:15.07 for Justin Delano. So we may see some tire wear because we're seeing a lot of these drivers' first laps being their quickest. James Fox able to run a quicker lap on his second time around. Glenn Law's a newcomer to the Gulf Coast IndyCar Series. Already looking very fast, fourth quick. We know when it comes to consistency, though, no one can compete with Scott Rambler, but one guy who's been doing a good job of it this year is Hunter Reynolds. He's had some great finishes and some great runs all season long. Sean Garrett, second quick in practice. We'll see where he qualifies. Pole for Sean Garrett, 1:13.09. A fast lap for Sean Garrett, and he will knock Scott Rambler off the pole here at Indianapolis. You got to expect Scott Rambler to get back out there, and that lap was his fastest lap of the session, but not quick enough to get Sean Garrett back on 1:13.47. Hunter Reynolds just now starting his first timed lap. Austin Albritton comes around to get seventh quick. See just how much speed they're carrying through these corners. Of those on the track, Hunter Reynolds probably the favorite to try and get this pole away from Sean Garrett. But Garrett, an incredible lap time on 1:13.09. I don't know if anybody's going to be able to top that one. Hunter Reynolds third quick for 1:13.86. So he's going to be competitive here tonight, no doubt about it. Curtis Klinger does set his lap time 8th quick right now out of 10 that have qualified. We've got 12 in the session right now. And the 17 looks like he took another spill there, had to tow back to the pit lane. Oh, someone locks it up right in front of him. And that was Sean Garrett coming out of the pits, it looks like. Yeah. So the 52 really had to lock it up there. Rambler back out of the pits, trying to get going. Take one more shot at that pole. Hunter Reynolds trying again. Oh, there goes Kai Dalziel. Spinning around through turn one. Locked it up. Carried a little too much speed. Looks like he is going to drive back out onto the track. Now, from what I've been told, these drivers do not have a fast repair tonight, so they're going to have to be extra careful, especially here on the start when all the cars are close together. You can't be doing that going into turn one, braking late. You may take out 3 or 4 cars. Rambler back across the line. Now up to turn 4. Can Rambler take the pole? Sean Garrett's back into the pits. He's going to try and restart his lap, but time is winding down. If you want to get out and make one more lap, you've got to leave the pits right now with a minute and 13-second laps, 3 minutes to go. You're going to have to go out there in the next 20 or 30 seconds. 00, he rolls out. Dalton Fredericks back out of the pit lane. Rambler that time by 1:12.95. Scott Rambler will take the pole. Now can the 17 of Sean Garrett get it back? Feeling pressure from, looks like Kai Dalziel. Yes, it is a 3:16 as he's trying to get his lap in. Rambler looks like it's going to be uncontested. We'll see if Sean Garrett is able to get around and make one more lap. This lap's not going to be the one. Hunter Reynolds also trying to make up a couple more spots here on the start. And here comes Dalton Fredericks. This will start his final lap time. Sean Garrett as well on his last lap. I'm sure is trying to make the best he can. Right there, that mistake's going to cost him. And around he goes, Sean Garrett pushing as hard as he can, trying to get that pole, but he's going to roll off from the second position tonight. Fantastic job, though, from Sean Garrett, but Scott Rambler just hard to beat. We'll see if Kai Dalziel can make his lap time. Has not got a lap in yet. We know Dalziel, very good road course racer. Dalziel will qualify in the 8th position. Dalton Fredericks now across the line. And he'll move to 3rd quickest and get around Hunter Reynolds. Those two have had some very good battles this season, so we'll get to see Dalton Fredericks and Hunter Reynolds start side by side tonight as Scott Ramler and Sean Garrett will take your front row here at the Indianapolis Road Course. We'll get ready to go to the race. They may let James Fox finish. No, he's going to pull over. We're going to get rolling here. We're waiting for the drivers to get onto the grid. We were actually still in the qualifying session, so we're still waiting for that to switch over to the race session. But as we wait, we'll take a look at the point standings. You got Scott Ramler at 198 points. Hunter Reynolds in second, 137. Dalton Fredericks third right now in our point standings, 115. Joe Hutchings, Rafael Santiago very close at 108, 105. Simon Grills, Enzo Haceta, Cody Bullock, Brayton Laster, and Curtis Klinger round out our top 10 in the points as we're getting ready to head into the race here for the Indianapolis Road Course. Sean Garrett down there, 13th in points. And he is starting second tonight, so he's looking to gain points, a lot of points. And everyone getting logged into the session. From your pole tonight, Scott Ramler in the 57. Going to be leading us off. Starting on the outside pole, Sean Garrett in the number 17. Third qualifier tonight, Dalton Fredericks in that 00. And next to him is Hunter Reynolds in the 26. Justin Delano going to roll off in the 5th position. Next to him will be Glenn Lausen. James Fox in 7th in that number 58. Kai Dalziel in the 316. That's going to roll off in the 8th position. Then from the 9th position, Curtis Klinger alongside of Austin Albritton. And rounding out our field is Joe Hutchings. Justin Wilkes in the session, but not out there rolling around, so we'll have to see if he starts from the pits tonight. Taking a look at tonight's race info. here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course, 2.51 miles. Now track temperature 77 degrees, so there should be plenty of grip here tonight for these Indy cars going around the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Tonight we will be showing the speeds that these drivers are going. The difference as they slow down into these corners is pretty impressive. They're waiting for the pace car to pull off. And there goes the pace car as we get ready to go green flag at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. We're underway. Scott Ramler leads us off. Cars already sorting out every which direction. Some cars just want to take it easy. Looks like the 58 drops all the way to the back. Scott Ramler, though, the early leader, Dalton Fredericks, jumps up to the second position. Oh, and there goes Ramler around into the grass. He cannot damage that race car. And he's going to live to fight another day. But Scott Ramler has got a lot of work to do. We got two more off. James Fox off into the grass, as well as Curtis Klinger. See if we can figure out what happened here. Oh, James Fox may have sent it in there a little deeper than that 52, and they both go around down into turn one. And looks like we have another issue with these two. Nope, that must have been the same one. Just as they were getting back going. Now it says it looks like we've got Justin Delano. A wreck for him. Oh, he just loses it. Saves it from hitting the wall, though. So he'll live to fight another day, too, but he's going to be all the way back to the 9th position. Curtis Klinger there in 11th, and our leader right now is Dalton Fredericks. Now it's going to come down to who can make the least amount of mistakes in this race. Now 57 is Scott Ramler. Is at the back of a long line of cars. Ramler's 7 seconds right now out of the lead, so he is not out of contention. He's got the ability to drive back through here, but he's got to be extra careful. The thing is when you qualify on the pole, you don't really have to worry too much about getting into incidents, but when you're going to have to drive through the field, no fast repairs in this race tonight. This is going to be tough for Scott Ramler to get back to the front. Fredericks right now, though, trying to extend this lead as much as he can. When Ramler tries to get back up through there, hopefully if Ramler does get up there, maybe Dalton Fredericks will be far enough ahead. But this battle right here, Hunter Reynolds, Kai Dalziel, and Sean Garrett all battling for the second position. Oh, there goes Hunter Reynolds. He loses it. He'll have to drive through the grass to get back onto the track. There goes Ramler by. So Hunter Reynolds will now drop back to 8th position. And here comes Justin Delano trying to get by. We know Justin is a quick racer. Hunter Reynolds throwing a block there on Justin Delano for the 8th position. Fredericks now out front by 1.7 seconds. Kai Dalziel in second. And that little hiccup by Reynolds kind of cost Sean Garrett. As they all head in, here comes Scott Ramler. Let's see if he makes an attempt at a pass. Here he goes. Down into turn one, Ramler back up to the fourth position after that early spin. Ramler was right at 7 seconds out. Right now he's only 6 seconds back. And reeling in our lead group pretty quickly. Fredericks putting down some good lap times. Hunter Reynolds back to the 9th position. He and Delano both trying to make their way back up through the field. Sean Garrett trying to reel in Kai Dalziel. Within a half a second of him, right there he is. Garrett needs to make quick work of Kai because Scott Ramler reeling them in quickly. I don't know if Sean's going to be able to catch Kai before Ramler catches him. Ramler on the move right now, way faster than everyone else in the field. That time by, he was 1.2 seconds quicker than our leader of Dalton Fredericks. So Scott Ramler on the move big time. And he's already looking to get around Sean Garrett. So there goes the 0-0. Dalton Fredericks off into the gravel pit. And our leader just trying too hard, locks the brakes up. Gets out into the grass and has to drive through the gravel to get back onto the track. Now we've got a new leader, Kai Dalziel, out front in the 316. Scott Ramler, though, still working on Sean Garrett, but there's your leader, Kai Dalziel, out front. Ramler most likely going to make a move in this lap or the next lap, but he's getting a big run. He should have a big draft. Use the slipstream to get by down the front stretch. He has to take it to the high side. Sean Garrett protecting the bottom. They're going to go side by side down into turn one. Garrett going to let him have it. Ramler around. Ramler now up to the second spot. Garrett and Fredericks will now battle for third. And quite the battle back here for fifth on back. Several cars back here battling for these positions. Justin Delano making his way back up to the fifth position. Oh, Joe Hutchings has to lock it up. There comes Austin Albritton, and he's going to be able to get around, maybe. Not going to be able to, but Hunter Reynolds right there. He's trying to make his way back up through after that early spin. Got to be extra careful especially when all these cars are crowded right together. Reynolds can use the push pass here. And Auburn going to let him by. Hunter Reynolds now up to the 8th position. Ramler has reeled in the leader. So that one little mistake that Scott Ramler made early kind of drove off the edge of the track on lap 1, cost him 8 positions, and it took him 10 minutes to get back to the lead. But Scott Ramler now putting the pressure on Kai Dalziel in that 316. And if he's going to have an opportunity to take it, it's going to be right here down the front stretch. Will he use the push to pass? He may not need to use it. Now to the outside, Ramler side by side with Dalziel for the lead. He's going to push into turn 1, side by side, wheel to wheel. Ramler got the preferred line. Now Dalziel may have it. Oh, he cuts him off. Ramler wasn't quite clear, but Dalziel let him have it. And now James Fox off on the racetrack on 58. And he'll get it back going. Dalziel may be a little frustrated there with that move from Ramler. Let's see if we can take maybe a closer look at it down the front stretch. And this was that pass for the lead. And he was clear, but not by much. The Dalziel will take the 2nd spot. He's gained 6 positions from the start of this race. Led some laps already, Kai Dalziel. Big moves there for the 316. But Scott Ramler now back to the lead. Dalton Fredericks, a strong showing. Sean Garrett, who was competing right there, he's dropped back to the 5th position, and this is why. Off into the grass. Oh, locks it up. Sean Garrett is extremely fast here in these Indy cars, but he's just got to limit these mistakes. When he can get out there and really make some good lap times, Sean Garrett may be the 2nd or 3rd, maybe the fastest guy out here, but definitely maybe the fastest besides Scott Ramler. But Garrett, now Dalton Fredericks. Issues for the 00. And I believe this is the same corner he went off earlier. Oh, and he hit the wall. The wing come off. So Fredericks is going to have to pit and get that repaired. There are no fast repairs in this race tonight, so that is going to cost Dalton Fredericks a lot of time. And Fredericks, that's a big mistake. He'll pit here. 47 minutes left. That is going to cost him a tremendous amount. He'll fall most likely a lap down. And Ramler got that lead, but Kai Dalziel not letting him leave with it. Ramler knows how to play that fuel strategy game, so he may have gotten out front. Now he's just pacing himself to stay in front of Dalziel to try and make it to halfway. We'll have to see how that pit strategy plays out. Here is the big jumble of cars. Glenn Lawson in that number 69. Hunter Reynolds right behind him. That 26 has only been able to make it back up to the 6th position. Delano's made it all the way back to 3rd. Albritton looked like he may have been trying to pass there, but didn't have the opportunity. Sean Garrett, after a couple of issues, is back in 8th position. And he's got some ground to make up before he's going to even be close. And Dalton Fredericks back out of the pit lane. And that right there, a pass for position for the 9th spot. Both of these drivers almost a lap down as Scott Ramler and Kai Dalziel coming through down into turn 1 now. Pass for position as Hunter Reynolds makes his way up to the 5th position. And you can throw a blanket over these three as here comes Albritton, looks to the inside. Each one of these drivers trying to outbreak the next one. I think Hunter Reynolds may have a chance to get away here. He was fast early in this race. Now that he's got position, he may be able to once again make some time, at least up on Hutchings. So Reynolds back into the top 5. And he'll try to run down Joe Hutchings, who's currently running in the 4th spot. Lawson trying to hold the position from Austin Albritton. Can the two get a big run down this front straightaway? We've seen a lot of passes down into turn 1, getting into the slipstream of the car in front, going down the long straightaway. And there he is to the inside. Here comes Austin Albritton. Wheel to wheel. Glenn Lawson for the 6th position. And Austin will complete the pass for that 6th spot. Austin Albritton up 4 positions from the start. Started 10th up to 6th. And now he tries to reel back in Hunter Reynolds, who got by just a few laps ago. And Curtis Klinger off into the grass. And he'll try to get back going and up to speed. That will drop him 1 lap down as he'll let the 38 of Justin Delano go by. It's Curtis Klinger back in 10th. James Fox right now sitting in the pit lane, getting some damage repaired. Had a tow from an incident earlier. Looks like he's about to roll back out on the track, and there he comes. So James Fox will fall at least 2 laps down here. Rambler, though, once again setting the pace as we have cleared our second 10-minute bracket. 40 minutes remain. And now you can see the gap that he's put on that 316. Oh, and he almost loses it. So this race far from over, as you see. Rambler that time right there had that thing bouncing out of that turn. It only takes one mistake. That 17 has went into the pits. I think he may have had some damage from an incident, and he'll fall 1 lap down. Hunter Reynolds, he has already pitted, so Hunter Reynolds into pit and back out. That's why he has lost a lot of time here, but I think that's a pit strategy. And we'll see if it works out for him. How much longer will Scott Rambler stay out? And there's our pit strategy. Reynolds and Fredericks both in the pits. Rambler's made it at least 17 laps. Rambler typically goes the longest of all the drivers, so we expect to see Rambler to be the last driver to pit. And the way that benefits him, to my understanding, is less fuel, the lighter car. You're able to make faster lap times. Tires, not as big of a deal as you would think. More of the heaviness of the fuel seems to be a bigger deal. As Rambler reeling in Curtis Klinger there in the 10th position. Klinger about to fall down 2 laps. And Scott Rambler has pulled out to a 10-second lead on Kai Dalziel. Justin Delano may actually catch Kai before they choose to pit. Rambler about 3 seconds quicker that time than Kai Dalziel. Delano a second and a half quicker than Kai, so Delano on the move, trying to reel in that 316 to at least get a second place finish here tonight. .52 off track again. Curtis Klinger sitting backwards, looks like. No, he's facing the right direction now, getting back out onto the track. Albritton reeling in Joe Hutchings. It's the battle for the 4th position. And here comes Austin Albritton into the pit lane. So Austin Albritton will pit from that 5th position. Glenn Lawson goes by and takes it away. Justin Delano right now making some very good lap times. 1:14.79 that last time by, second quick on the racetrack. And here comes Scott Ramler into the pit lane. 35 minutes to go. And that means the 316 will take the lead. Oh, and he missed turn 1. And a big upset there. Justin Delano comes from 3rd all the way into the lead as they head down into turn 1. Kai, don't know if he just got excited that he got the lead or what happened there, but as he took the lead from Ramler, who had just pitted, goes into turn 1 and misses the turn. And that puts Justin Delano in the lead. And Delano's been the second quick car on the racetrack for several laps. But now that he's got Kai right behind him, that may change when you have that little bit of pressure on you. And here comes Dalziel now into the pit lane. Maintaining pit road speed. We're going to see Ramler on the soft tires. You see the grippier tire. We'll see what Dalziel takes here. That 57 already bearing down on him. And Dalziel going to keep those super soft tires. And Ramler already around, back into the 3rd position. A 316, a long stop. Making sure it's completely full of fuel. Ramler back up to the 3rd position. Justin Delano, when will he choose to pit? And he'll come in this time flying down pit access road. Locks it up to get into the pits. With that pit road speed limit, Dalziel just now coming out of the pit lane, so some sort of issue on pit road. It must have been a speeding penalty for the 316. And Hutchings now will get out there and take the lead. Ramler already around Delano. So now it's going to come down to Ramler. Will he make a mistake before this race is over with? And we're not halfway, so I'm not sure if they're able to make it from here. We got one car just in front of him and that was the 316 of Dalziel. Major issues now. A great night has fallen apart now. For Kai Dalziel, let's see what happened to the 316. He got off into the grass, locked it up, and a hard hit. Right there it was. And that front wing gone. And that right front tire barely attached. And now he's going to fall all the way back to 9th position and no fast repair, so that's going to take a while to fix. So Dalziel went from battling for the lead to a lap down before he even got back to the pit lane after that wreck. Halfway through, Scott Ramler, a 14-second lead over Justin Delano. And in the 3rd position, Hunter Reynolds moved all the way up in that number 26, and he's caught and passed Dalton Fredericks. They're in the 4th position. Just behind them, Joe Hutchings. Who was the most recent to the pit lane. It looks like Kai Dalziel. No, he's back out there, so I think they may have had a fast repair. I don't think that the information I had earlier must have been wrong, because Kai definitely had his fast repair there. But either way, he's going to be 9th, a lap down. With no cautions, you know, he's not going to be able to get that back, so he's going to be stuck back there. The next car for him to catch is the 17, who's almost behind him and is actually back on the lead lap. But not by much. Right there, Scott Ramler. And Frederick's able to get back around Hunter Reynolds. And this is that pass for 3rd position. 2 are teammates, so let's say Hunter just let him go. So Dalton Fredericks back into the 3rd position. But currently at a 33-second deficit to the leader, Scott Ramler. Oh, locks it up. We've seen these two have some fantastic battles all season long. It looks like right now Fredericks may have the better car. And these two battling for position and have been for quite a while. Albritton in the 2, currently in the 6th position. Right behind him is Glenn Lawson in that 69. These two battling for that 6th spot. Oh, and there's a crash. It involves the 57. And he gets back out on the track because 17 of Sean Garrett crashed as well. Let's see what happened. Oh, and Garrett lost it. Oh, Ramler able to save that. Did not hit, so no contact there, but it did slow him down a little bit. Let's actually take a look at that one more time, but this time we'll go from the cockpit of Scott Ramler's IndyCar here. And that is impressive driving. Never touched a blade of grass. Scott Ramler, that's why he is your point leader. And even at that, that was a 14-second lead, now drops to an 11.5-second lead. So he's still got such a big cushion. And Fredericks and Reynolds still hold at 33 seconds. So those two didn't gain a whole lot of time as they were battling each other. And Lawson was able to get around the two of Albritton. Here's that pass. Oh, Albritton went wide. And Lawson able to go around to the left. Albritton takes a look to the inside. Lawson's not going to let him have it. They're going to be nose to tail going down into turn one. It took Albritton a while last time, but he was able to get around Lawson, and that time Albritton carried a lot more speed into that corner. Albritton here straightening the curves, if you will. Trying to force the 69 into a mistake. Oh, and Albritton that time may have spun the tires on the exit. Can Albritton get the run he's looking for? He looks to the inside. It's just a fake. Trying to get Lawson to make a mistake. And this is what close racing looks like from the inside of an Indy car. All comes down to who can get to the throttle the quickest. And Albritton much better on corner entry, but Lawson better on corner exit. You see him pull away there as Albritton had to get on the brakes maybe a little harder than he was expecting. Gonna get into that slipstream down the front straightaway. Locks them up. 69 sent it wide, but it's just not enough for Albritton to really get a nose to the inside. Lawson not making enough of a mistake for Albritton to really try and advance. Both of these cars reeling in Hutchings. You see him up there with the green car. And it may be a 3-car race before it's all said and done. Albritton sending it into the inside this time. Down into turn one. Albritton going to take the spot back. Can he reel a couple of laps together? Can he link them together and pull away from this 69? Albritton may be a little bit quicker, but the question is he quicker, or is he only quicker because he's got that rabbit to chase? You see Glenn in front of you. You see his braking points. You wait a little bit longer and you brake and you make the corner, and then that's how you're faster. But now that he's in the lead and that 69 is the one that has the rabbit in front of him, is that going to change? "20 minutes remain." Rambler out with an 18.5-second lead over Delano. Dalton Fredericks maintaining third position, 35 seconds back. This right now, the tightest battle on the track. Austin Albritton just passed Lawson for the 6th spot. And now he's doing his best to get away from that 69. And I do believe that these two collectively, once Albritton got around, both of their pace has picked up. As they are reeling in that 31, both of them looking at a potential top 5. And Dalton Fredericks back into the pit lane. They must not have been able to make it. Or at least Fredericks. Fredericks had to pit early because of an incident. He's going to come on in and fuel up again. He's going to drop at least back to 7th position. Here comes Scott Rambler. Fredericks just now pulling out. Is he going to let Rambler by? He will do that as they go down to turn 1. Rambler will put Fredericks 1 lap down. So now the battle is for 4th. Joe Hutchings has got the 4th position, but Austin Albritton and Glenn Lawson both bearing down on him quickly. Can they get there in 17 minutes? Albritton was almost 2 seconds quicker last time by, as Hunter Reynolds will now head into the pit lane. And I believe he has had an incident. He just missed it altogether there. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. But nevertheless, Hunter Reynolds will pit, and he comes back out right behind Dalton Fredericks. Oh, and back through the grass again. Hunter Reynolds around backwards into the gravel pit. And he's going to try and get rolling. There goes Sean Garrett. That's the first pass he's made in a while. Garrett able to get back up to the 7th position. As Hunter Reynolds, that was a costly mistake as he was going to have a chance to get around Dalton Fredericks and maybe up to that podium, depending on what happens up here for the top three. There's Dalton Fredericks. Austin Albritton right now is trying to reel in Joe Hutchings, but actually Hutchings' last lap was quicker. I think when Lawson gets close behind, Albritton, he doesn't run quite as fast. So right here is Joe Hutchings right in front of these two drivers. And you see he's about to come back out onto the front stretch. We'll wait until he does get onto the front stretch. So there's Joe Hutchings. He's third position. Now we're going to go back and check with our leader, Scott Ramler, who is now coming back out on the main track. So he is not too far behind. He's coming out onto the front stretch in 31 of Joe Hutchings, just now entering turn one. So that's front straightaway distance. And Scott Ramler could put all the way up to third a lap down before this race is over. Albritton side by side now with Lawson. Takes a bad line into that corner. Lawson's going to have a good run down the straightaway. And Lawson going to get back by into fourth position. The way these two are racing each other, I don't know if they're going to catch Joe Hutchings. They both might be quicker, but with this battling back and forth, and Hutchings just running clean laps right now. That time they only caught about 2/10 on Hutchings. And there comes our leader, Scott Ramler, into the pit lane, as well as Justin Delano, both head in. And a short stop there for Scott Ramler, back out onto the speedway already, won't lose the lead. Delano still heading down to get to his pit stall. The 31, he was the one that stopped the latest, so he may be on a strategy to try and make it to the end. Hutchings has been out there 14 laps. We know he can make it 23. We know Lawson and Albritton are most likely going to have to pit again. Sean Garrett now heads down the pit lane. And there goes Ramler, putting him one lap down. Hutchings still 2.5 seconds ahead of Glenn Lawson. Glenn doing his best is now within a second as Austin Albritton has come down to the pit lane to take his final stop. How will that help him in this run against Glenn Lawson and Joe Hutchings? I think Glenn just having that 2 not right behind him has helped him to reel in this 31. He's focused on the task at hand, but now down to the final 10 minutes, and Glenn Lawson looking at a top 3 in a podium finish for his first start, and he's going to head down the pit lane. Joe Hutchings going to stay out. And Lawson locked it up. We'll have to see if he was able to keep it down there under the speed. The 2 of Austin Albritton, those 2 were battling side by side. He's coming back out onto the main track now. And we'll see the difference between him and the 69 who's still in his pit lane. Now starting to roll. And they're going to come out basically side by side into one. And even, all evens, as this is exactly where they were before the pit stop. So an even pit time through the lap and the entry, exit, all that the same as Albritton now with a little bit more momentum is able to get by that 69. And there's one sideways. That looks like the 17. Sean Garrett, and he is stuck. Can't get out. May it be high centered. And he'll have to jump to the pit lane. And Justin Delano, an incredible night tonight, has moved up to the second spot. And Glenn Lawson goes around, missed the corner. And that's going to cost him his shot. At beating Albritton. I believe that's the leader. Scott Ramler was running them down, and oh, he locked it up, wheel hopped it. Was trying to push a little too hard to stay on the lead lap. And he is going to have to come in, may have flat spotted those tires. So that's going to cost him his chance at a podium. But right now, Joe Hutchings, I think he's going to try and stretch the fuel. If he is able to stretch the fuel for 6 more minutes, and he's still going to have to hold off Dalton Fredericks, who is on a roll right now. Dalton putting down some pretty quick lap times at 1:15.92. It's about 2.5 seconds quicker than Joe Hutchings' last lap. And he's going to have about 5 laps to try and reel him in. So Ramler has led most of this lap, had an incident early. which pushed him all the way back to, I believe, 8th position. Had to drive all the way back through the field. But man, once Rambler got to the lead, he never looked back and has a huge lead, 25 seconds right now over Delano. Glenn Lawson still having some issues back here, pushing a little too hard as he's in that 7th spot. Justin Delano in the 2nd position. Another one who had an incident early, but has driven back through the field. And once he got back up here to this position that he's in now, 2nd spot, has been mostly mistake-free. And able, what's look like is going to be able to cash in for a podium finish here tonight. Still got 4 minutes to go. Anything could happen. Joe Hutchings. It looks like the 26 is off track. And that's Hunter Reynolds. And he'll lose a position in that exchange to the 2. But Joe Hutchings is the one we're watching right now. Can he make it to the end on fuel? Earlier, Hutchings made it 23 laps, and that's going to be very close to the end of this race. He pitted with 31 minutes to go. So Hutchings still going to have to try and hold off that guy right behind him, and that's Dalton Fredericks. Who has been absolutely pushing to catch him, and he is right there. He's within a second now. 8/10. He's going to get a big draft from the slipstream down the front stretch. So Fredericks able to get by. Yeah, and Hutchings just saving fuel here. Just trying to limp it home to the end. You can tell Fredericks really slow around the track. Not Fredericks, excuse me, Hutchings. Really slow right now to try and just save enough fuel to make it to the end of this race. Scott Rambler able to get around the 2 of Albritton. And that puts 5th place a lap down, top 4 right now. The only car is on the lead lap, and that's going to be questionable if Hutchings can make it to the end. Rambler, though, another incredible showing. Our point leader coming into this race by quite a margin. Won the first 3 races. Had a penalty last race. Drove up, still got a podium finish. Curtis Klinger with some issues there. Still got a podium finish, though, last week, even after he had a penalty. And here today, Scott Rambler. Extremely dominant. I think he might be slowing down here as Delano making up quite a bit of time. I think he wants that last lap to be this lap. Delano was the fastest car last time by. And Hutchings going to have to make it one more lap as he just now passed the line. He may be out of fuel. He is going very slow. Scott Ramler off the final corner. And I think he's going to have to go one more lap. We'll see to make sure. But Ramler not pushing hard right now. Run a 1:18.34 that lap. As we see the two in front of him, Austin Albritton had finally gotten back onto the lead lap and sends it off into the gravel pit. Justin Delano putting together some good laps, but it's not going to be enough. Still 20 seconds the deficit as Ramler just making sure he gets to the end without incident. And Hutchings has to dip it down into the pit lane as he was running out of fuel. He may just want to wait and let Ramler pass that line first, but I don't think it's going to matter. And there goes Ramler around. He will win at the Indianapolis Road Course. An incredible run from Scott Ramler. Second place finisher Justin Delano. Ramler looks like he's already burned it down in turn one. Delano going to finish in the second spot. Dalton Fredericks looks like he's going to be the guy to come home with that podium finish. So Dalton Fredericks will come home for that podium finish. As we see Scott Ramler driving backwards around the track right now. Well, that's just impressive. And I don't think I've seen this, not around a big road course. Scott Ramler showing just how talented he is, even on a victory lap. And not only being able to drive it backwards, but actually running the preferred line through here. Burn it down, Scott Ramler. You earned it. Scott Ramler burns it down. Let's see if we get a word with some of our top finishers from the podium. Starting with our third place finisher, Dalton Fredericks. Hey, Dalton, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Hey, man, what a phenomenal race. Looks like you had a couple of incidents there throughout the race, but you were able to come back to get third. What were your issues there? A couple of incidents.
Yeah, I don't know if it was just me getting nervous on the lead or whatnot, but it felt like my brakes were acting up, and it felt like it was close to locking up, and so I got scared, and it put me into the gravel both times. Unfortunately, the second time it broke my wing, but we were able to get in the pits fairly quick. I didn't have to use my fast repair, which was nice, so I saved that in case of something in the future. But strong recovery race.
Yeah, absolutely. When you hit that fence and you lost that front wing, did you think that you were going to be able to make it back to the podium?
No, absolutely not. And when everyone got by or did their uh, pits, um, I found out that I was back in the third or whatever. I was like, "Holy smokes! Might finish in the podium." So it got me excited again halfway through the race, and felt like I had something to go get, and we were able to grab it today.
Yeah, definitely a good race. And you and Hunter Reynolds put on another show tonight, running some close laps together. Did you think that you was kind of home free once you saw Hunter make that final mistake and kind of run off the track, and you was out there by yourself at that point?
No, not really. I wasn't too worried about Hunter. Um, I mean, he was quick with me, but I wasn't too worried about him. I was more worried about Joe, and I was able to catch him at the end. And when I got around him and was able to pull away, that was a huge relief for me.
Yeah, he was on that different strategy, but you were able to run him down. A great job on your podium tonight. You got anybody you'd like to thank after this one, Dalton?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Nerds doing nerd things for sponsoring the car, and I'd like to thank Revline for the new team and being able to work with them.
Well, a phenomenal job. We talked to you several times this season. What do you think your chances are at our Indy 500 next week?
I feel pretty good. As long as we avoid the wrecks and have a clean race, I think we'll have a good shot.
Sounds good. Hopefully, we'll be talking to you at the end of the next one.
Yes, sir. See you next time.
And there was Dalton Fredericks, our third place finisher. Now on to Justin Delano, our second place finisher. Hey, Justin, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Hey, a great run to come back and finish second. I think you were another one. I think just about everyone had some issues through the night. I think you had an incident early, but able to get back into second and really run a mistake-free race after you got back up to that top two spot.
Yeah, I did. It just snapped my car way out from under me in that second to last corner. And then after that, I just crawled back up. I think I could have done better, maybe had I planned strategy out, but these cars are still pretty new to me.
Yeah, we run the Indy Road course this week. Next week, we're going to the Indy 500 on the oval. What are your chances there for our Indy 500?
I'm going to pull the Moses strat that I do for my NASCAR series and just start in the back and hope everyone else does the work for me.
Well, that was certainly the case today. I think everyone, including Scott Ramler, had a wreck in this race. But you drive all the way back up to second. You got anybody like to think after this one, Justin?
I'd just like to say thanks to my team, Clips Racing Esports. Other than that, just wish Kai could have been up on the podium with me, but it was a good race. Thank you.
Yeah, it was a great run. It was fun watching you drive around there and fast laps out there. So congratulations on your top two finish, and hopefully we'll be talking to you after the Indy 500.
Thank you. Have a good one. Okay, bye.
All right. And now on to our winner, Scott Ramler. Let's see what he's got to say. Hey, Scott, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Oh, yeah, I got you loud and clear.
Hey, man, what a phenomenal run. I think every week I'm like, well, I'm not going to be any more impressed than I was the week prior. But, man, lap one, like turn 3, you get off track and you drop all the way back to 8th and have to climb your way back to the front. But once you get up there, you're just absolutely gone. What happened there on the first lap?
Oh, well, that wasn't actually my only spin tonight, but the only thing I could gather was I had heated up my front brakes and my front tires were warm, my rear tires were not. So when I went to load the car up to get it into turn 3, I either skipped the rear tires or they just straight up slid out from under me. And it was funny because I just turned the wheel to the right and I just kept going straight. And then when I came out on our first pit stop, I got to turn 2. I caught a little too much of the curb and I spun out there, nearly taking somebody else out. But yeah, it was just a mess tonight, an absolute mess. And I'm surprised I got away with as many mistakes as I did tonight.
Yeah, there was one instance where you had about a 15-second lead on second place, and Sean Garrett locked it up into turn 1, and somehow you were able to miss him. What were your thoughts going into turn 1 there and seeing that car sitting sideways?
I watched him lock up the rear tires and spin, and that was right about where I start braking and turn in. And just watching him getting distracted by that, I missed my turn-in point, so it became a game of dodge him to see if I could stay away from him. Thankfully, Sean locked it down, and I was able to drive around without issue. But yeah, that was a pucker factor moment.
Well, phenomenal run here on the road course. Next week, we're going to be on the oval. We've seen you be very fast on both. You think you're going to be winning next week? Or maybe who's your pick for maybe the one to watch your biggest challenger?
Well, I usually don't like to pick out the people that would be the usual suspects, but I mean, Joe's always been strong in Indianapolis. Dalton Fredericks has been picking up so quickly on the oval stuff. If he starts figuring this stuff out and he cleans up his driving a little bit, then he is going to be a force to be reckoned with, whether it's in Indy or anything else. So if I had to put my money on anybody other than myself, I'd say it'd be Dalton Fredericks.
Well, fantastic. Hopefully it'll be a close battle for the win next week. Absolutely phenomenal run here on the road course. You got anybody you'd like to thank after this one?
Absolutely. I want to thank Joe and all of our admins for putting everything on. I want to thank Gary for playing admin tonight in the tower. Oh, criminy. Where did my list of sponsors go? For Revline, I want to thank Nerds Doing Nerd Things podcast, Player One Coffee, Mall Energy, AIM Supplements, Rex Repair, Computer Repair, and Resurgence Apparel. Thank you guys for coming on with Revline. We appreciate you coming on, and proud to put another notch on the wall there. Another win for Team Revline.
Yep, sounds like a great job, and we'll catch you next week and probably see you there in the top 3 at the end of the race.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. And that was our winner, Scott Ramler. And there he is coming around to take that checker flag. Scott Ramler, 4 out of 5 so far this season. So expect to see him up there next week for the oval course next week. Appreciate all of you all for tuning in. And we'll be back here next Tuesday night. And we will see you then.